Hello and welcome to Blender Bite Size. In this video I'll be showing you how to make this material procedurally in Blender. Feeling lazy? You can support this channel and skip the hard work by grabbing the blend file for this material from Gumroad for just £1. Feeling flush? Feel free to throw some of that coin my way using the coffee link in the description below the video. Okay, here's a quick look at the scene that I've set up. I've got a simple backdrop, a light pointing at the backdrop, two lights pointing from the rear of the three objects, and then a simple area light over the whole thing. It's very, very simple. And here's the camera view. So you can see we've got the three objects sitting on the floor. So let's dig into the shader itself, or the procedural material. We'll switch over to the shading tab. We'll enable the rendered viewport. I'm using the Cycles render engine. And if I select any of these objects, I've got the same material already assigned to each one. If you're not sure how to do that, then basically just click on New, or if you've already created it on a different object, you can select it from the drop down. So we'll work with this large cube, but it should then update on all four objects. I've already got a principled BSDF shader, and I'm going to set the base color to a deep, let's go for blue this time. Now these changes aren't necessary for the actual damage. I'm just setting up a basic thing that we can add the damage to. So don't necessarily think of these as being part of the damage, they're just part of the scene. So for example, if you have a shader set up something like this, then you can apply the damage to that. Okay, there's our basic material that we've applied to all four objects. Now to create the damage, we're first going to need a texture of some sort. So in this instance I'm going for a noise texture, and I'm going to plug that straight into the normal. I'm going to add a bump node to convert the noise texture data into normal data. That needs to go into the height to do that. We're going to invert that. We're going to set the strength at 0.35 and leave the distance at 1. Now there's too much going on here, so we need to refine that a bit. To do that, we're going to start with a color ramp. So press Shift A, as we've done all the other times, to find particular nodes. Plug that between the noise and the bump. And we're going to flip this so that the black is on the right, and we're going to bring that to about 0.6. We're going to leave the scale at 5, increase the detail to 10, and the roughness to 0.575, and the distortion to 1. All of these settings are adjustable. You can do them whichever way you want. Now I do need to add a mapping node and a texture coordinate node. So because I've got the Node Wrangler add-on enabled, select the noise texture and press Ctrl T, and then we're going to use the object output as our vector data. Now, so we can refine this even further, we're going to find a map range node, plug that between the color ramp and the bump node, and then we're going to set top value to 0.35, from max to 0.4, and you can already see how that's affected the overall look. If I change that back to 0 and 1, it's basically taking the value from 0 all the way through to 1 and displaying all of it. What I'm doing is crunching it down to about a mid value. So anything it can find between those two, it's going to highlight as area that can be displayed. same for the min and max. I'm basically reducing the distance between the two values. And that, believe it or not, is the entirety of the process for adding simple surface damage to any object. Now, if you wanted to, you could obviously add transmission to this. You could reduce the alpha to make it clearer. You could even plug this through any other principled shader that's got a normal value. So there you go. Let me just quickly render this out for you so you can see the finished result. I'm going to use 1000 samples and do it at HD. And there you have it, a very simple surface damage procedural system for adding damage to anything. And you've got plenty of scope for adjusting it as well. If you've enjoyed this video or found it useful, please remember to give it a thumbs up before going today. And of course, for notifications of future releases from me, please remember to hit the subscribe button along with the bell icon so that you receive notifications of when they come out. In the meantime, thanks for watching.